Hi, this is Pam from the Birch Cottage blog. Welcome to my YouTube video. In this video, I would like to show you how to make a round wood door hanger. First, let's take a look at the supplies that you'll need. For this project, I used my Cricut Maker. So if you're using a Cricut or another cutting machine, you'll want to also use a standard grip cutting mat, your adhesive vinyl, transfer tape, your weeding tools and a brayer, an 18-inch round wooden board or whatever size that you want to make your wood sign, wood stain, some white paint, chalkboard paint, foam paint rollers, painter's tape, and a sealant. The first thing you'll want to do is to prepare your wood slice. I purchased my wood slice at my local Home Depot, and then I used some fine grip sandpaper to smooth out any of the rough spots. And then I used a microfiber cloth to remove any dust. Next, I applied my stain to the wood board using a microfiber cloth. You can also use a sponge paintbrush or your favorite method for applying stain. Be sure to stain both sides of the board and the edges. I use these painter's pyramids to hold my board up off of the table so I could literally stain both sides and let the whole board dry. I didn't leave the stain on very long. I took a clean, dry microfiber cloth and wiped off the stain that I had just rubbed on. Like I said, be sure to apply the stain to both sides and all the edges of your board, and then to wipe off any excess and let it completely dry. Then, while your board is drying, you can customize your design. You can use my template that I shared through Cricut Design Space. I used a font called Effort, which you can download for free from dafont.com. You'll find a link below in the video description to my file in Cricut Design Space, or you can create your own design. So you'll want to open that round wooden door hanger file that I shared from Cricut Design Space, or start with a blank design of your own. Now, if you're starting with a blank design, you will want to create or add a circle, a shape that is a circle, the same size as the wooden door hanger that you're going to make. So for my case, I made an 18-inch door hanger. If you're making a 15-inch or 16-inch or 21-inch, you'll want to add a circle to your design space that is the same size as your door hanger. That will help to give you a visual of what your door hanger is going to look like when you're done. So in my case, I'm using a font called Effort, and like I said, you can download that from dafont.com and use it for free. And then you'll just simply want to edit this design. In this case, established 2020, you can change that to be whatever you want. The last name is McMacken. That's my nephew's name. And of course, you'll want to change that name as well. And again, with McMacken, I used a font called Effort, and you can find that at dafont.com. So here I am editing the year, established 2021. And I'm just going to add a new text that says Baker. And choose my font, Effort, in the list. You can also type it up in the box to filter. You can type in Effort, and it will filter and pull up whatever font you want, or Magnolia, whatever font that you would like to use for your design. And I'm going to change the letter coloring to white so it will show up better. Get it at a good size. And then I'm going to change the color so I can work with it a little bit and adjust the spacing. You see how there's a space between the A and the K? Well, I separated all those letters out, and then now I'm moving them individually until they're joined together, and then I will weld that. Well, there's been an update to Cricut Design Space since I made this video, where you can do that kerning without having to do this, and that is a really nice feature. I'll cover that in another video. So you get your name all lined up where you want it, resize it, you can drag it, make it shorter, taller, wider, whatever you want to do. But the name that I added, I welded all those together so that it would cut out as one word instead of individual letters. And then I'll just hide or delete the McMacken name, anything that I don't want to use. I'll just click on the little I, and that will hide those layers. Once I have my design just the way I want it, I'm still tweaking it a little bit, trying to get everything laid out just right. Getting it centered on my design. And that's just about right. I need to move these dashes down, resize them a little bit. And again, I just keep selecting items and then resizing them to get it to laid out just the way that I want it. That's looking pretty good. I'll hide the layers I don't want to use. So that 18-inch circle shape that I made, I don't want to use that, so I can hide it. And then when I click on Make It, I can see exactly what's going to print out and how I need to lay my vinyl. And then I would just continue to follow the steps in Design Space. Load your vinyl onto your mat and let your Cricut do the cutting. It really didn't take that long for my Cricut to cut out my design. Next thing that you will want to do is to affix the D-ring hangers to the back of your round wooden door hanger. You'll need 2 D-ring hangers. You'll need a ruler, a marker, a drill helps, and a screwdriver to attach the D-ring hangers. I simply marked off the area, making sure I had the same distance from each edge of the circle and centered those on the back. I marked my holes with a marker, and then I pre-drilled those holes and then attached the D-hangers with screws. So this is what my D-hangers look like after I got all 4 screws drilled into the back. Then I'm going to turn my wood slice over, and I'm going to apply painter's tape to the area where I have measured off that I want to apply my design. Once I get that nice and level and straight, I'm ready to paint. I'm going to paint the section of wood that I have taped off, and that's the section where my wording will go on my sign. In my case, my sign will say McMacken, established 2020. I am using chalkboard paint. So I already have it mixed up, and with chalkboard paint, you'll want to kind of mix it slowly and thoroughly. It'll look kind of blue in the can, and the more you mix it, the more it will resemble black. But just keep mixing it until you have it really mixed well. Pour it out into a paint tray and use a foam roller brush to apply the chalkboard paint. You're going to apply a few layers of this chalkboard paint, so don't worry about what the first layer really looks like. Get that first layer on there, nice thin coat. It's better to work in thin layers when you're dealing with paint than to apply a bunch or a thick layer of paint. Just do a nice thin layer and try to get your surface painted evenly. You'll want to do, I did mine around the edge too. So I have my tape going around the side of the paint of my wood hanger, and I painted the edges as well. And you do have to allow it to dry in between coats. Just be sure to read the can and follow the manufacturer's instructions for the particular brand of chalk paint or chalkboard paint or whatever paint that you're using. You certainly don't have to use chalkboard paint. All right, once you have applied your paint, and it will probably take 2 or 3 coats, remember to follow the manufacturer's instructions, allow it to dry in between. And I would recommend that you allow it to completely dry overnight or for 24 hours before you apply the vinyl to your sign. For some reason, I didn't get a video of applying the vinyl to the sign, but what I did was I used transfer tape, and I applied my vinyl to my sign using the transfer tape. I also used my brayer to make sure it adhered really well to the sign. And then I peeled away my transfer tape, and I'm left with McMacken Established 2020 vinyl adhered to the chalkboard painted section of my sign. Now you're ready to apply a sealant to your design. You can use a spray paint or a brush-on sealant. This is especially helpful if you're going to hang your door hanger on the outside of a door where it will be facing any weather or sun, and it will just help to protect your design. I also decorated my round wooden door hanger with this bouquet. I made a bow out of some ribbon and got some flowers and pine cones. I purchased all those from my local Hobby Lobby store, and I made the bow and wrapped it with florist tape, and then I attached it with ribbon and then hung it over the back of the door hanger and attached it with a thumbtack. I didn't want anything permanently attached to the door hanger so they could change it out seasonally or remove the bouquet if that's not their thing. But I made the bouquet so that it was removable and changeable, and attached it to the round wooden door hanger in a way that wouldn't leave any holes on the front of the wood sign. If you have any questions about this tutorial, please feel free to leave it in the comment sections below, and I will answer your questions as best I can. Thank you so much. If you liked this video, please be sure to like it below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much, and happy crafting.